Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to paint all of your Pokemon coins so they can go from this to look a little more like this. To start off with, the things that you're going to need is acrylic paint. You can use a wide variety of different paints. Apple Barrel sits around 50 cents, Folk Art tends to fall closer to $1.50, and Craft Smart sits around 75 cents USD. So they're all fairly affordable. You will also need little plastic cups or some type of stuff to mix the paint in. A small detail brush, you can just find these online by typing detail brush. You can also find them super cheap too. And then you'll need a little bit of water. I will be sealing them in UV resin. If you are going to seal them, you need some type of UV resin. You need a UV lamp. You will also need a lighter to help pop all of the air bubbles. You will need protection when working with UV resin. It can be extremely dangerous to work with. So please do your research on how to use it. Next, you're going to want to go ahead and grab all of the colors that you need and put them into their respective cups. You then want to add a little bit of water to each paint cup. You want to stir it up and make sure all of the water is incorporated, and then touch the back of your paintbrush to the edge of the cup. And if you see that little like rundown right there where it slowly drips down, that's like the perfect consistency. You'll most likely get little bubbles in your paint that look like this. Just take your lighter and hit it the top of the paint and they'll all just pop and go away. After you get all of your paint mixed up, take a little piece of tape and stick it to the back of your coin and secure it to whatever surface you're working on. Now it's time to go ahead and start painting your coin. I would suggest working slow. Slower is always going to give you more control while painting. I'm going to go ahead and speed the rest of this up and show you guys what it looks like once we have the first coat on. Here's what the coin will look like after the first coat. If you have paint spillover, just wait for the paint to dry. Take a toothpick or something you can fit in between each of the edges and just scrape it off. It'll just scrape right off. As you can see, when the paint dries, it kind of pulls in a little and it exposes some of the edges. So that's what the second coat will help fix. So I'm going to go ahead now and get the second coat on, and then we'll come back for highlights and shadows. Next, you want to mix your paint for your highlights and your shadows. For the highlights, I always do those first, and I add just a little bit of white to whichever color I'm working on. And then when I do the shadows, I'll just take a little bit of black and then add it to the one that I previously highlighted. So I'm not really like wasting any paint, if that makes sense. I'm not like a super big expert on highlights and shadows and where exactly to place them. My husband always says, pretend like you're shining a flashlight from one angle and kind of go at it that way. Put them wherever you feel like they go. It's really not going to mess it up that badly. I tend to place them on like the high point, so like the very top of his nose, and then like where his eyebrows would be like farthest out, if that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the highlights and the shadows on, and then we will come back to seal it. Once you get it fully painted how you like it, grab something that you can like pick the coin up on. I use like just a flat canvas, attach the coin to it. Then you want to go ahead and make sure like all of the parts that you need scraped off are scraped, if you had any like overspill or anything. And then just take a very dense packed brush and like brush it off. You can add pressure to it, it shouldn't mess up the paint. This coin has dried for like a few hours before I have done this. Once you have the coin attached to the thing that you can pick up, you want to take a little bit of the UV resin and you're just going to make a puddle on top of the coin. Once you have that, go ahead and pick up whatever it's sitting on and start to manipulate it so it goes to the edges. As long as you're not like turning it completely on its side, the resin will bump up to that edge and it won't overspill, so it'll kind of puddle on top of it. So go ahead and do that and get it completely covered. Here's what the resin looks like when it's not been cured. As you can see, there's like bubbles and stuff on it. All you need to do is hit it with a lighter. If there's some bubbles that are sitting like deeper under the surface, just take a toothpick or something and kind of like nudge them a little bit. Just make sure you don't hit the paint because it still can easily scrape off. And then once you hit the bubbles that come up a little bit like this, you just hit it with the lighter again and you'll be good to go. I then cure it under the UV lamp for like 90 seconds and it becomes like hard. You don't have to worry about it. But again, please wear protection, please be safe. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, so I hope this helped and I hope you guys have fun creating. Okay, bye.